following behind. So we're going to see what fresh tires are going to do for these cars, Dave.
31 talked about 2 tires. 99 of Carl Edwards may take no tires and fuel only. No, they're going to go to the right side of the 99 as well. So far for the 31, 2 tires, and Jeff is gone. 99 leaves as well. Jamie?
And the 11 of Denny Hamlin is in, and I believe the 48 is coming as well. Remember, Denny Hamlin just struggling. Right sides is the call here, saying the speed is just not there. This car has been terribly loose the entire race, been floating back there in the 19-20 position, and he is clear. 48 did stay out. The 24 out of miscommunication. They told him to come. He stayed out. He thought that's what they wanted.
Well, we're going to find out just how good 2 tires are going to be, because Jeff Burton and Carl Edwards, 2 cars that have been running up in the top 10. We'll find out how it turns out when we come back to Kansas.
Time for our Dodge race rundown. What's happened so far? Point counterpoint's been a story so far in the early going.
Kyle Busch gets in the back of David Rudiman, spins him, and boy, Rudiman is flat hot right now. No doubt about that.
So
take a look at this.
Back out a while later.
Yeah.
A little bit of time for payback, it looks like. Dave gets up, gets into the left rear of Kyle. Dave ends up spinning himself out, but I think the damage was done.
Kyle was running 7th at the time. We have seen some strategy with a series of rapid mid-race cautions here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys short stopping also, too. These guys can actually run about 5 laps longer on fuel, at least Greg Biffle could. He stopped early to get that track position, get those fresh tires, and keep that car running fast.
Got guys on all kind of different pit schedules here out on the racetrack now. Some of the championship chasers. Jimmy Johnson, been kind of way back in the pack for a lot of the racing scrambling.
Well, he really has. He's been mired back in that back of the pack and then running really well once he gets up to speed, but he's going to have to race hard all day long.
And some of the guys at the bottom of the standings who we said on Countdown must have a good race today. Well, let's see. That's Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth fighting for the lead earlier. We've seen Greg Biffle up and now currently in the top 5.
These guys know they've got to get it done. They can't get too far behind, and they are taking advantage of it today. They are getting it. Let's take a look at this payback one more time. Wham! Right in the back of Kyle Busch. Tears up his trailing arms. His car's not handling good now.
Right in that left rear tire too, Rusty. You know that can bend an axle, do a lot of damage.
Now I know we mentioned that David Rudiman is 10 laps down. None of those are because of penalty. NASCAR has not penalized the 00 car, and Kyle Busch still on the racetrack, still on the lead lap. He's in 22nd spot as we go back to green.
Remember Kevin Harvick, the one guy that stayed out so far. He's holding on to the top spot, but Tony Stewart, here he comes down the backstretch.
Well, Stewart doesn't have a tire advantage. He only took fuel when he pitted last, but he has had the best car all day.
Log jam behind him. 43 of Allmendinger, little contact with the 42 of Montoya, and now all of a sudden Harvick surrenders not only the top spot but several others further back on the left side of your screen. 3 wide again. They're down on the apron.
Yeah, I don't think a short run's the best for Kevin Harvick. Looks like his car is having a hard time getting up to speed. These guys are racing hard back here for this spot.
Right side of your screen, Tony Stewart. He's now led more laps today than in his previous 9 Kansas starts. Here comes Kenseth on the right side, taking a peek under Harvick. That is for 3rd on the right side. On the left side, there is your race lead. That's Greg Biffle and Tony Stewart. 2 of the guys that we talked about that had to have good runs today are getting the results with 95 laps to go. Right behind there, you see the battle between Harvick, Kenseth, Newman, and Mark Martin is in this mix as well.
Jeff Burton right there. He took 2 tires the last stop. He has the freshest tires of this group.
On the left side, you've got Denny Hamlin. We go on board. That's Jeff Gordon and Joey Logano right behind him as well. That is for 11th, 12th, 13th on the track. Kurt Busch side by side with the 20.
Yeah, this is the best running position for Denny Hamlin all day long. See if he can hold it up there. Kurt Busch trying to make something happen here. Hasn't been very happy with his race car.
Kurt has had the best season on the 1.5 miles, but he's never had a great deal of success here at Kansas in the past. He's never even had a top 5. Let's get more on the 2, Doc.
Well, the misfortune for Kyle Busch was actually good fortune for Kurt Busch, because on this last yellow flag stop, they were able to have enough time to put that spring rubber in the right rear of the 2 car and take all that wedge back out. And we're going to see if that'll really help the 2 car or not.
And as Kurt Busch collects his race car off that corner, right ahead of him, the 20 car of Joey Logano, started up front today, has been battling a loose car most of the day, but in that last one, a little bit tight in the center. 2 tires stop, a little bit up on the track bar, and Joey trying to race his way back into the top 10.
By using the apron as well, Dave, as he's still got a handful of Jeff Gordon. One piece of business we never got to as the restart happened. Brad Keselowski got the dog. He is 22nd, the last car on the lead lap. Logano and Gordon still going after each other. Kurt Busch would like to find an opening. He has a run on Logano. Now he's going to have to check up.
You can see Logano get just a little bit loose there right in the center of the corner on the inside of Jeff Gordon. That opens the door for Kurt Busch.
Busch now side by side with Joey. The 56 of Martin Truex Jr. right behind the number 2.
See just how difficult it is to make a pass down on the bottom side of the racetrack right now.
Let's sneak up on, check on the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Remember, you pointed it out right when that caution came out. He was on the verge of going 1 lap down. Right now, Denny Hamlin is back in the 10th position. He was 21st on lap 155. Jamie?
Marty, he has been extremely loose, but on the last round of stops, they didn't make any changes. They took right sides only, and all of a sudden, that mental toughness we've been hearing about with Denny Hamlin kicked in. He said, guys, we're going to make something out of this day, and sure enough, he is just picking them off. That car is the best it has been all day, guys. I wonder how much of it is really to do with upstairs.
Thank you, Jamie. Let's also check in on another guy that's creeping his way back into the battle, and that is the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Started 21st. He now finds himself inside the top 10, running 8th, just ahead of Carl Edwards and behind Mark Martin. Remember Jeff Burton, one of those cars that took 2 tires? Let's check in on his progress. He's running 5th, and he's got Matt Kenseth in his sights.
Like I said, he has the freshest tires. He made a pit stop under that last caution where all of these other leaders stayed out. He only took right sides, but it's working for him.
Yeah, and I think this will really show up as they get some more laps on these tires. Not necessarily on his, but on these other guys as they start to really fall off. Jeff Burton should come on. That's been his strong suit anyway.
Let's get an update on the 17 from Dave Burns.
And actually, Marty, as the 31 darts to the inside and tries to take that position, as you said, he took 2 tires and he restarted 10th, so he's making his way forward with that fresh rubber. Matt Kenseth, on the other hand, he may be able to make it on one more stop. Just prior to this caution, crew chief Jimmy Fennig told Matt, save gas. If you save gas and you have a well-balanced race car, which Matt does today, you can make hay out of that staying out thing. We'll see how it works out.
Well, that's going to be an interesting strategy because we've got 87 laps to go. How about a shout out for Mark Martin? Here he comes again. Biggest mover, started 40th, and here he is running 7th, just 4.8 seconds behind our race leader of Tony Stewart.
Well, Mark's done a really good job. A very disappointing season for this race team, but they're trying to make the most of these last 8 races. Doing a very nice job here today.
Jimmy Johnson's got his hands full all of a sudden. The 99 of Carl Edwards. We go on board. While we ride along with Carl, let's talk about our Gillette Pro Glide profile, because Carl's turning skeptics into believers at Kansas. Let's see where he started, where he's finished, and right now he qualified 31st this year and finds himself running 9th with still 85 laps to go.
He might like to see it rain qualifying out one time out here where he can start up towards the front.
Well, it has been an interesting race, to say the least. As we talk about those guys in the top 10, it is Tony Stewart up front. And an update on Kyle Busch, he's running in the 22nd spot. He's 16 seconds behind, but he's still on the lead lap here at Kansas. Back here at Kansas Speedway, we're under our 5th caution as the number 7 of Kevin Conway has blown up. Big puff of smoke, and he is limping around. And take a look, you'll just be able to tell. There it goes.
Something important in that engine broke.
And he did the right thing. He quickly got down on the apron. But we are under our 5th caution. And guess who this benefits, guys? Remember when Clint Boyer was mired back in around 31st spot? Through this previous caution, he got back into the lucky dog position. And now with this caution, Boyer will be back on the lead lap. All right, let's get an update as we head for